the deadliest insect in every country. This isn't a vacation guide, it's a survival guide. Let's count down 10 countries whose insects are small, ruthless, and absolutely terrifying. Number 10, the Sydney funnel web spider, Australia. I know what you're thinking. That's not an insect. And you're absolutely right. Spiders are arachnids. But honestly, if we're talking about Australia and leaving out this 8-legged nightmare, we're doing everyone a disservice. The Sydney funnel web spider is the stuff of legitimate terror, with fangs that can pierce through fingernails and venom that can kill a human in as little as 15 minutes, if untreated. These aggressive little monsters don't run away when threatened. They rear up and attack. The males are particularly dangerous because they wander around looking for mates, which means they end up in people's homes, shoes, and swimming pools. Before anti-venom was developed in 1981, these spiders killed about 1 person per year, which might not sound like much until you realize it's 1 more person that should be killed by something the size of a cookie. The good news? No deaths have been recorded since the anti-venom became available. The bad news? They're still out there, just waiting for their comeback tour. Number 9, the kissing bug, United States. America's deadliest insect sounds like it should be handing out affection at family reunions, but the kissing bug is named for its habit of biting people near the mouth while they sleep. Romantic, right? These bugs carry Chagas disease, a parasitic infection that affects roughly 300,000 people in the United States. The disease has 2 phases, an acute phase that might give you fever and swelling, and a chronic phase that can show up decades later with heart problems and digestive issues. It's the long game approach to being deadly, which is somehow even more unsettling than immediate danger. The kissing bug itself doesn't directly transmit the parasite through its bite. Oh no, that would be too straightforward. Instead, it defecates near the bite wound, and when you scratch the itchy bite, you rub the parasite-laden feces into the wound. Nature is truly miraculous. Number 8, the Asian giant hornet, India. Before the murder hornet panic of 2020, the Asian giant hornet was already living its best life in India and other parts of Asia. These things are massive, up to 2 inches long, and their sting has been described as feeling like a hot nail being driven into your flesh. They kill around 50 people per year across Asia, with India seeing its fair share of fatalities. What makes these hornets particularly terrifying is their team-based approach. Hooray! They attack in groups, and their venom contains a neurotoxin that can cause organ failure if you're stung enough times. A single hornet can also mark you with a pheromone that signals its friends to join the attack, which is basically nature's version of calling for backup. These hornets are also famous for attacking honeybee hives, where a small group can decimate an entire colony by literally decapitating thousands of bees. They're not just deadly, they're overachievers. Number 7, the assassin bug, Brazil. Brazil is ground zero for Chagas disease, with millions of people infected, thanks to the assassin bug, a cousin to the kissing bug we talked about earlier. The assassin bug is more efficient at spreading the disease than its North American relatives, partly because housing conditions in rural areas provide more opportunities for these bugs to set up shop. The name assassin bug comes from their hunting strategy. They ambush prey and inject them with a toxin that liquefies their insides, which the bug then slurps like a smoothie. When they're not doing that, they're busy giving people a disease that the World Health Organization considers one of the most neglected tropical diseases in the world. These bugs have been plaguing humans for so long that we found evidence of Chaga disease in 9,000-year-old mummies. They're consistent, you gotta give them that. Number 6, the Asian giant hornet, Japan. Yes, the same hornet that terrorizes India also makes life interesting in Japan, where it's called the Suzumebaki, or sparrow bee, because apparently it's the size of a sparrow, which is not comforting. In Japan, these hornets kill between 30 to 50 people annually, making them more deadly than bears, snakes, and any other wild animal in the country. Japanese honeybees have evolved a fascinating defense mechanism. When a hornet scout invades their hive, hundreds of bees surround it and vibrate their flight muscles, creating a ball of bee bodies that heats up to 117 degrees Fahrenheit, just hot enough to cook the hornet to death, but just cool enough that the bees survive. It's like a tiny, lethal sauna. Humans haven't evolved such creative defenses, so we're stuck with running away and seeking medical attention, which is significantly less efficient. The tsetse fly, Democratic Republic of Congo. Now we arrive at the tsetse fly, which is absolutely Africa's contribution to the Insects That Ruin Everything Hall of Fame. These flies transmit African trypanosomiasis, better known as sleeping sickness, which has killed hundreds of thousands of people throughout history. The disease starts with fever, headaches, and joint pain, then progresses to neurological symptoms including confusion, poor coordination, and disrupted sleep cycles. Without treatment, it's fatal. The DRC has historically had some of the highest rates of sleeping sickness in Africa, though massive public health efforts have reduced cases significantly in recent years. Number 4. The bark scorpion, Mexico. Another arachnid crashes the party. The black scorpion is North America's most venomous scorpion, and Mexico is its favorite hangout spot. These translucent terrors are only about 3 inches long, but their sting packs a serious punch, causing severe pain, numbness, vomiting, and in rare cases, convulsions and death. What makes bark scorpions particularly problematic is their love of hiding in shoes, bedding, and clothing. They're also excellent climbers, so finding one on your ceiling is not unusual. Children and elderly people are most at risk from severe reactions to their venom, and before anti-venom was widely available, stings could be fatal. The bark scorpion is responsible for more envenomations than any other scorpion species in North America, with thousands of stings reported in Mexico annually. Number 3. The giant centipede, Indonesia. Indonesia is home to some truly massive centipedes, including species that can grow over a foot long. These aren't insects either, but when something has that many legs and has that much venom, we're making an exception for the sake of nightmares. Giant centipedes are aggressive predators with modified front legs that act as venomous fangs. Their venom can cause severe pain, swelling, fever, and weakness. While deaths are rare, they do occur, particularly in children or people who have allergic reactions. The bite has been described as excruciating, with pain lasting for days. These centipedes are fast, aggressive, and will defend themselves vigorously if threatened. They hunt at night and will eat anything they can overpower, including mice, lizards, and frogs. They're basically the stuff of fever dreams, scuttling across on dozens of legs with venom to spare. Number 2. The Asian honeybee and wasps, China. China sees dozens of deaths each year from wasp and bee stings, with various species of wasps being particularly problematic in rural areas. The Asian honeybee itself is generally less aggressive than its hornet cousins, but massive wasp species in China's mountainous regions cause numerous fatalities annually. These wasps build enormous nests and attack in swarms when threatened. Their venom can cause anaphylactic shock, kidney failure, and multiple organ damage. In some provinces, wasp attacks are a serious public health concern during late summer and autumn, when the colonies are at their largest and most defensive. What's particularly frightening is that climate change may be making these attacks more common, as warmer temperatures allow wasp populations to grow larger. It's yet another reason to worry about the future, courtesy of creatures that can fly and stab you repeatedly. Number 1. Mosquitoes, Nigeria. Nigeria takes the unfortunate top spot, accounting for nearly a quarter of all malaria deaths worldwide, making it the global epicenter of mosquito-borne mortality. We're talking about over 100,000 deaths per year, mostly among children and pregnant women. The sheer scale of suffering caused by mosquitoes in Nigeria is staggering. The Anopheles mosquito that carries malaria is nature's perfect delivery system for misery. These insects have killed more humans throughout history than any other animal, insect, or otherwise. They're tiny, they're everywhere, and they've made an art form out of ruining everything. What makes the situation in Nigeria particularly challenging is the combination of high mosquito populations, limited access to health care in many areas, and mosquitoes that are increasingly developing resistance to insecticides. It's an evolutionary arms race, and the mosquitoes are winning. Whether they fly, crawl, or scuttle, these tiny terrors remind us that size doesn't matter when you got venom, disease, or just really good aim.